Cheers, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bourbon and Booze. It's Thursday. It's Whiskey Day. And it's one of my favorite days of the week because it's Whiskey Day and it's almost the weekend. And I'm really happy that it's almost the weekend. Another day down. Today we have something very common for you. You should be able to find this just about anywhere where liquor is sold. And that's the George Dickle, George Dickle Bourbon Whiskey 8-year. So it's a very common, inexpensive brand. It's from the Cascade Hollow Distillery in Tennessee, which is where George Dickle is produced. And it is 45% or 90 proof and rather inexpensive at about $25, which I find very good. I've actually seen this where it's been more expensive, so I don't know if it's a almost like an allocated issue where it's much more expensive or not. But here in Texas, and I actually bought this in Tennessee for like $25, but here in Texas it runs 25. So, but I've seen it online for much more expensive. Not sure what the deal is. I do like George Dickle. We have the Barrel Select, George Dickle Barrel Select, which we rated as a 3.5. And I thought this was a really decent bottle. We have a couple other Dickles running around. And just recently I got a kind of a melding of George Dickle and I just had that name in my head. It's a Denver distillery. It's called Brothers something. Say that again? Leopold Brothers and George Dickle do a combo, and it's fabulous. And I've seen it ranging here in Texas in the allocated section for about $100 or more. So get your hands on that. But let's go ahead and try this 8-year George Dickle. It is a bourbon, Tennessee. Smells like a bourbon. It's got that dark cherry, dark wood, little bit of mint, more mint, less spearmint. It's got a slight burn on the nose though for 90 proof. Little bit of apricot and slight hints of banana. So I'm getting more associated that banana seems to be, for me, to be a signifier of Tennessee whiskey. I would say price-wise it's a 3 because it's $25. For aroma, I would have to say it's a 3.5. It's got a slight medicinal burn to it. But otherwise it is a fairly decent bourbon aroma. I like it. Let's go in for flavor. It's got a nice color, by the way. Not too spicy, so let's jump all the way to bite. It's got a little tiny spicy up front and a little tiny burn on the back end, but not much. I'm going to say this is a 4 on bite. It's very mellow, very limited on that. But as far as the flavor goes, very smooth, very almost thick. It's got that warming feeling to it, not a cooling feeling. It's got a warming feeling. Like I said, just a slight bit of heat. Some very nice dark fruity tones to it, or dark cherry tones, I should be more specific. A little bit of chocolate and nuttiness to it. A little bit of that toasted wood, but not much. And then almost a somewhat, almost hypnotic kind of dark, rich flavor to it. Not the cherry, probably, possibly a stone fruit, like a pear. I mean, it's really interesting, and I really like it. I mean, I like George Dickle, but this is tasty. I'm not sure what to rate it, though. Wow, it's almost got like that hypnotic flavor to it. It's almost like a numbing flavor as well. I'm going to have to, this is very interesting. I would say this is a 4, if not a 4.5 on flavor. I really enjoy this. This is good. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as a 4. And next time Cody's up, I'll have him run through this and see what he thinks. So the price I said is a 3 at $25. That's a 3-barrel on price. It is a 3.5 on aroma, 3.5 on aroma. So that is going to be 6.5. I say it's a 4 on bite, so that's 10.5. And gosh, this is a 4 on flavor. So that's a 14.5. So this is a 3.5, almost a 4 barrel. I'm going to say it's a 3.5 though. I do want to go ahead and compare this to this Barrel Select. This is at 40% or 80 proof. No, 43%, 86 proof. It's the Tennessee way of distilling, so it's been charcoal filtered and double distilled. So where this is being labeled as a bourbon, this is being labeled as Tennessee whiskey. So it's probably going to be a little bit different. But I assume they're still charcoal filtering this. As some of you know, that charcoal filtering, like what Jack Daniel's does, isn't... it's an additive that doesn't take away from the fact that it is a bourbon. Jack Daniel's is a bourbon. But Tennessee has an additive way of doing stuff with sugar maple and filtering it through sugar maple, and I would assume that's what that said, right? It just says charcoal mellowed. Yeah, it's much more bourbon-esque, much more traditional, a little bit more pronounced on the mint, the spearmint, and some of that dark cherry. Kind of a little bit more of a bitter undertones. Wow. So this is a Barrel Select, and I don't see, I guess it's just their Barrel Select, it's not a store select. I prefer this over this. I think this 8-year is fabulous. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say this is a 4 barrel. It was easily a very strong 3.5, but I'm going to say it's a 4 barrel, a little bit better than this one. But again, we want to know what you think. So make sure you do leave some comments below. What's your favorite George Dickle? And maybe we'll do a lineup of all the Dickles we have. I can tell you that the worst Dickle I have is that Tabasco. The George Dickle Tabasco finished. Ooh, man, that's some weird stuff. So, but leave your comment below. What's your favorite George Dickle? Make sure you do hit that like and subscribe. It means so much to us. Make sure you do also, if you get a chance, check out Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And I know that it's kind of iffy on those when I post, but things are about to change, hopefully for the better. And again, check out tomorrow for Friday with Cody, and he'll be here. We're going to be making some cocktails. Remember, there's no bad whiskey. And I stand by that. There's no, people can argue with me all day long. There's no bad whiskey. And I say that because people buy it. It may not be you, but people buy it. So there's no bad whiskey. There's only good whiskey and great whiskey. And I'm going to say this is great whiskey. I really like this. This is Common Man great whiskey. Give it a try. All right, you guys all have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.